everybody. It's Cheri Dotterer here at Tier 1 Interventions Podcast. I'm here today with Jonily Zupancic, and we are in class today with a live group of ladies and gentlemen who are learning about the Mastery Math method. So I'm going to let Jonily talk, and if there's any intervention that I want to add to the puzzle, we will do. But for now, I'm signing it all over to Jonily, and let us learn a little bit about mathematics, girl.
Y'all, this is Jay-Z. I'm Jonily Zupancic. I'm your math specialist, your main mathineer. If you are listening to this podcast or you're watching this podcast on YouTube, I want to give a disclaimer and a warning. This is level 2. You're listening in on a level 2 version of Mastery Math Method. The reason we do explicit direct instruction is so that we can have these tangents. Then we can come back because those tangents are when the best learning is created. This is what the flavor of instruction is in the Mastery Math method. We're modeling this for you right now. Everything I'm doing with you, I want you to do with your kids. So yes, we're still teaching standards. We're still doing direct explicit instruction. But in between those times, we're doing bursts of conceptual, experiential, contextual storytelling. Okay, student 4 touches their own locker first, not starts at 4, touches locker 4 first, and then touches every multiple of 4. So student 4, and when I say touches, I mean changes the state. If it's open, it's closed, it's closed up. So student 4 changes locker 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. Now, some of you are losing your ever-loving minds right now. If you're watching the visual portion of this, some of you are losing your ever-loving minds right now because you went into teaching because you are type A control freak. You went into teaching math because you're even more type A control freak. And I need you to change. I need you to change. Tomorrow. Actually, yesterday, I need you to change. Okay? Are you hearing me? Because if you're able to see this visual, right now you're freaking out because you're going to say, your paper is a mess. Those numbers aren't even in order. There's not even, you're going to be like, this is the worst way for students to learn. And I'm going to say, it's the best way students to learn. Your type A control freak mentality is the barrier to your student ultimate learning. You've got to change. Guess what? Half the people listening to this just turned off the podcast. I don't care. Go. My point is, math is messy. I do not give my students lined paper to do math on. They either get blank paper with nothing on it, or they get graph paper, or they get a math tool like a 120 chart or a dot paper or something. And I told my students last week, if you want lined paper to take math notes on, you do you. That's great. I'm not going to give it to you. You'll need to bring your own because I'm never going to force you to do math on lined paper. But some of you really need the lined paper to do the math. So you'll need to bring that. Just get one of those 25-cent spiral notebooks from Walmart and bring it in and use that for your math notes. Math must be messy to be mastered. Jazz hands. Math
And the OT would give you, and the OT would pull out the grid paper and make sure you can line it up.
So math must be messy to achieve mastery. Now, if you loved what I said, you're going to spirit hands But me as the presenter of that are going to jazz hands. Do you see? Now, but Cheri, now wait a minute, because if we are in a conceptual exposure, maybe only interaction 1, 2, or 3 of something, I don't want to fix the lining up for kids right away. And Cheri knows this because, like, her job as an OT is to help kids with the systems and structures. Okay. But first, they need to be messy. So, this locker game board is going to be draft 1, just like in language arts. When you're writing, the first time you write is not the final paper. And we need more of that in mathematics. Math must be messy before mastery. Math must be messy before mastery. There's plenty of time to take all the messy stuff. And then, to Cheri's point, as an OT, as the classroom teacher, as the intervention specialist, we're going to take their messy draft 1. We're going to label it as draft 1. We're going to frame it. We want to frame the messy. We want to frame the draft 1. Then we want kids to do this same locker note taking as a draft 2, draft 3, draft 4. And it's going to become more organized and systematic as we continue the drafts. Then we're going to say to students, you know what? We're going to give you a new game board that's going to have boxes in the boxes. And now we're going to help you mathematically notate in a more organized way. But at first, in our explicit direct instruction, we can't start with the ultimate organization. We have to start with a messy note-taking. And you just seen a model of this. But if you're a type A control freak teacher, which most of you are, you need to get over that and give kids these draft 1 opportunities. Okay, so get back to the math. Natalie's in the back of my head here. She's poking me. She's Jonily. Hello. Okay, student number 5 is going to touch multiples of 5. Now, this is going to get a lot quicker as we go. And I can stop at every moment and ask kids, what do you see? What do you notice? And you're going to notice that we're going to get a lot faster as we're going here. 6 changes 6, 12, 18, 24. Okay. 7. I'm just trying to find a good color here. I guess I can use this one. 7 is going to do 7, 14, 21. Oh, and I could say to kids, what are the next 3 numbers that 7 is going to do? 7 touched, 7, 14, 21. What are the next 3 numbers? Boom, I can practice fact fluency. Right here in the middle of this, okay? And then we're going to do 8. And yes, I'm going to take the time to do this. And I'm going to do this in front of my class. This is the explicit direct instruction part. Wow, let me stop for a minute. Wait a minute, let me stop. Hold the phone. Hold the phone, stop the train. Okay, for all of you that are here live, what do you see and notice right now? Unmute or type it in the chat. What do you see? What do you notice? Unmute, type it in the chat. What do you see? What do you notice?
Four has an odd number of students touching it.
Spirit fingers!
Hey everybody, it's Cheri again. If you're loving these strategies and you want to join our Mastery Math Method Masterclass, we hold this hour-long event once a month and we'd love to have you join. What we talk about there is how to improve your math skills in 10 days. Can you imagine 10 days? Whether you're a math teacher or an occupational therapist, you can see exactly how to shift teaching so that every student, no matter their starting point, can master core math concepts and reserve your seat today. And go over to disabilitylabs.com/calendar to check out the next event.
What else do you notice? Yeah, Kathy. Kathy notices factors. You fancy. You fancy. Amy, I love it. I love it. Amy is okay, look. Amy is the one person I know that is the highest level of type A. Would you agree, Amy? Like you are the ultimate type A person. I am the ultimate not
Yes.
type A person. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And Amy says, I love this. It looks organized to me. Sarah, see, there's an organization that is stupid, and then there's a messy organization that Amy loves as the ultimate type A person. And this is what that is. Amy, great point.
I want to add one thing here.
Sure.
And if your students are starting to get a little bit disconnected to the engagement in the classroom, when I get to number 8, I'm bringing out the interlaced bilateral integration and I am making them stand up and do the 8.
Cheri, tell us more about that for people that just need a little more.
Sure. There are 3 types of bilateral integration. There is symmetrical. So if you think about your both hands are doing the same thing at the same time, doing the thing. So I talk about Karate Kid. Brush on, wax off, wax on, wax off. Your arms are doing the same thing at the same time. They're painting that fence, okay? You can be going this way. They're both crossing you at the same time. You're doing the same movement. Asymmetrical bilateral integration is like my example is writing. One hand's holding the paper, the other hand's doing the scribble. Hopefully not scribble, but you get my point. And then there's a third type of bilateral integration, and that is trying to get both sides of the brain doing the same thing at the same time at a central point. And that's why I bring both hands together. I keep my hands facing away from me, bring one behind the other, interlace my fingers. The hand that's on the outside hopefully is the writing hand so they can mimic that 3-jaw chuck that they need to use when they have a pencil in their hand to be able to write. So if they're going to write their 8 in the air, they got both hands doing it. The benefit of doing interlaced bilateral integration is you bring the logic brain, the creative brain, the subconscious brain, and the spiritual brain together all at the same time. And you make sure you really integrate it well into your memory so that it comes back for long-term memory. And it also creates some movement, so you're going to re-engage the brain with novelty.
Holy fart! Cheri, you are dropping bombs today, woman. Okay. All right, friends, here we go.
We always say we work best when we don't plan.
Hey, I'm telling you, planning is so overrated. Planning is stupid.
Thank you for saying that out loud.
Planning is stupid.
But yet, that's what the entire discussion was on Wednesday night, was planning.
Oh, man. Oh, we need to. Oh, that's good. Oh, Cheri, we need to expand on this. Not right now, because I'm doing 9s and then I'm doing 10 changes locker 10 and 20, and then 10 changes 30, 40, 50, 60. And then student 11, I'm running out of colors. I can use gray. Student 11. Oh my gosh, look at this. What do you guys notice? I'm ready to put the 11 in the 11 box. The only number that's on locker 11 right now is 1. So student 11 is finally going. It's finally student 11's turn. And student 11 is going to change box 11 and 22, and then 33, 44, 55. But look, guys, look at box 11 right now. I'm doing that in white and it didn't show up. That was dumb. Hold on a second. I need a way to make this profound. Let's just use lime green. Look at box 11. Look at locker 11 right now. When it was finally student 11's turn and student 11 touched locker 11, the only other person that had touched it at that time was student 1. So is locker 11 going to be opened or closed? Is locker 11 going to be opened or closed? Locker 11 is going to be closed forever. Because how many students touch locker 11? Forever and ever and ever, no matter how many students we have. 2 students, only and exactly 2 students are going to touch locker 11. Which students are going to touch locker 11? Student 1 and student 11. Now, I forgot to say this at the beginning, but all the lockers start closed. When we begin the game, all of the lockers start closed, okay? All the lockers start closed. So student 1 opened locker 11 and student 11 closed locker 11. Now, I'm doing a lot of telling of this to you because you're at a training and you're adults and I'm teaching you and I'm telling you. Telling is not the most effective form of instruction for ultimate learning. So I would facilitate what I just did with all of you different in the classroom. Just know that. In the classroom, I would say, oh, guys, tell me about locker 11. Turn and talk about locker 11. And I would have the kids tell me. Okay, I did that a little different because we're on a professional development training, podcast-ish. You're adults. You want to be told. You're coming here because you want to be told things because you want to grow. So it's a different situation. But in classrooms with kids, I wouldn't have facilitated it exactly that way. I want that point to be made for sure. And here's another quote of mine. If I, as the teacher, say it, kids hear it, which is fine, which is totally fine. But hearing it does not lead to mastery. Okay? So if I say it, they hear it. But if the students say it, they learn it. If I say it, they hear it. If they say it, they learn it. So I can say it. I'm not telling you to stop saying things. You need to say and tell and direct and you just can't, as the teacher, have the expectation that they're going to learn it. When we say it, they may not learn it. They're only going to hear it. Gosh, let me say that again. If we as the teacher say it, if we as the parent say it, if we as the adult say it, if we say it, they are not necessarily going to learn it and master it. We just need to know that. We need to be real. Just because I say it does not mean they're going to learn it. They'll hear it, but they're not going to learn it. They might, but they most likely will not. In order for them to learn it, they have to say it. So somebody unmute right now because I'm going to make you say what I just said. We're going to use Natalie's method that is not yet named, but this is going to be a profound turning point in all of education, Natalie. We're using Natalie's method. Somebody right now tell me what I just said in your own words. Unmute and tell us. That's fine. I'm not going to make you. I'm not going to make you. Yep. So Beth, Cheri answered that. All of level 1 has exactly what you need to get to this level.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Don't let this scare you away. Put what they have, this locker chart in front of them, as well as feeling it as, yes, Teresa, good. Good. Okay, you guys are carrying on in the chat. You're good. Okay. Now I'm ready to be 12. See, and it's important that I just take the time on this. This is not wasting time. This is, you all that have seen the locker 47 times have never seen me do it like this. So it's worth the time. So chill the heck out. Okay, so what other lockers? So student 12 is going to touch locker 12 and 24 on my chart, but also 36. Oh, guess what? Do you guys remember the 12 song? I'm a big fan of the 12 song with kinders. I teach kinders the 12 song and then we use it every grade. 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120. 132. Let's do one more. 144. Jazz hands. Okay. Moving on. Let's do this one. Okay, that's fine. So what am I on? I'm on 13 here. Oh, son of a junior. Okay. Oh, that's not a good color because see, it's not, oh, shoot. I'm going to use
Make that a 3 and not a 2.
Oh, shoot. Guys, that must mean we're about done today because, okay,
It is 11:22, dear.
I know. So, student 13, I just did this. Now, what I'm going to do with my students is I'm going to be like, tell me about this because they're going to be like, now they're going to be like so chatty. I'm going to be like, okay, in your groups, just talk to each other. Go. Amy. See, Amy teaches first graders. Okay. She's probably not going to teach all of this to her first graders. Maybe she will, but Amy is going to have a huge learning shift mathematically this year. Amy, you're going to love level 2 of Mastery Math Method Tier 1 intervention so much because this isn't about your kids this year, Amy. This is about you. Level 2 is about you learning the mathematics, not what you're going to be teaching to your kids. That's the point of all of this. You're a doll. You are so much dolly dolly. Okay. And then on my specific game board here, and let me just use blue because 14 now, oops, no. I wanted to use blue. Okay. 14 now is going to do 14 and there's not a 28, but 15 is going to change 15 and there's not a 30 and 16 is going to change 16. So this is, students get confused on this because they're like, but there's no other numbers. Yeah, but there's one. They're afraid to have that student touch their own locker, even though that's what we've done all along. But it's, yeah, there's only one, but you got to do that. You got to, even though, I could do 20, 40, 60, 80. It's not there. We don't do it. But we still have to, like, student 22 still touches locker 22. Student 23, Amy, this is your number. Amy.
See, and I think if you make a big deal about the turn and talk on 11, oh my goodness, wait a minute, what just happened? It hasn't been touched since person number 1, locker number 1. And then they'll be like, wait a minute, 13 then was the exact same. And now 23, it only had the first person and themselves touch it. Like, I think they'll see that connection.
How can you not?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? How can you not? How can you not? But now, wait a minute. We can't do this on the first interaction of locker problem. This is not the first time kids see locker problem. It's probably not even the fifth time kids see locker problem. You can't rush art. That comes from a movie. What is it? Is it Buzz Lightyear or Toy Story or something? You can't rush art. I think it's Toy Story. Anyway, what I'm saying is you can't rush this. You can't do all of this the first, like, you can't do a week of locker problem every day, Monday through Friday, and then check it off your list and be like, I've done locker problem. It doesn't work that way. You need to do locker problem exposure 1 where they just play in season 1. Then you might do locker problem 3 times in season 2 where they just play again. You're still not doing this. It might not be until kids have done locker problem for the 15th time that we finally say, you guys have seen locker problem 14 times. Today, we're going to do it differently. I'm going to give you the game board, but no pieces. And we're going to take notes on the locker problem. So this is Amy's number, 23. So locker 23, student 23, the first locker student 23 touches is locker 23, and then 46 and so on.
As we wrap this series, we'll zoom out. In our final segment of this series, we'll connect all these interventions back to the bigger picture of Mastery Math, how division, storytelling, puzzles, and perseverance fit together to transform classrooms. Until then, remember, every student deserves the chance to see themselves as a mathematician. And as Cheri and Jonily say, go be awesome, go be brilliant, for you were put here for such a time as this.